What's up everyone, it's At Home Dude, and today we're going to talk about some kids shows, and that dude's car is hecka loud. And hey you guys, hit up the comment section and let me know what shows your kids watch and whether you like them or not. Thank you. What's up everyone, it's At Home Dude, and today we're going to talk about some kids shows, and we're going to really frame it from my perspective as an adult parent. The two things that I really care about are education, how much does it impact my child, and then also what I would describe as the chaotic noise that it brings into the house and how that impacts my children. All right, so number one is the educational aspects. That's going to be pretty straightforward. It's just the educational things that it teaches your child, and whether it does or doesn't. Some shows don't really have much. Other shows are filled with a lot of content that's going to help your child develop and become smarter. The second one is going to be difficult to explain, but what I will say is that I am a musician and I pay a lot of close attention to tones and sounds that are harsh. So it'd be a lot easier to give you an example to explain this. Imagine me yelling really loud into the microphone, right? I record that really loud yell, and then I can adjust the volume accordingly, correct? As I adjust that volume, even if I turn it really down in volume so that it's not that loud, it's still a yell. So the intensity is still there. So it can still make you feel a certain way. Whereas if I spoke with a very mellow tone, I could then record that and I can crank it up really high in volume and it will be very loud, but it will still invoke maybe more peaceful or more calm emotion from people. From my personal experience, I've noticed that my kids, when they watch certain shows and it has really a lot of harsh and a lot of high velocity tones and yells and screams, they get really excited, which isn't a problem. I'm good for kids having energy, but when they start jumping all off the couch and flying everywhere, bouncing off the walls, that's a little bit much. So all of that said, let's keep it moving. So these are mainly a handful of the shows that they do watch and what I have observed, and I'm just gonna go by tiers of shows that I think are kind of meh, they're like all right, and then shows that I like them to watch, and then shows that I really love them to watch. Starting at the bottom, the mess shows are going to be Peppa Pig, and we really like Peppa Pig. We let them watch Peppa Pig, but one of the big drawbacks for us is that there's an accent in the show, and our son sometimes has that accent and it's very awkward, and people ask us and we're just like, yeah, it's from a show, I believe it's an accent, and he's like mama or whatever, and it's just like, what? Also, the show does not have a whole lot of educational benefits. There are some social aspects that are beneficial to the show. It's a good show, we like the show, we let them watch it, but it's just not one of my favorites for them to watch. So the next two are going to be kind of similar in my mind. They're PJ Masks and PAW Patrol, and both of them kind of have like the superhero aspect to them. One, they are superheroes, and the other, they are working regular jobs that honestly regular people should view as superheroes. Policemen, firemen, things like that. So it's really cool. The shows are really cool, but they just don't provide a whole lot of educational aspect, in my opinion, from watching them as an adult. So when my kids watch them, I'm cool with them watching them, but they're kind of meh, you know, whatever. All right, the next group is gonna be the shows that I actually like. The first one is Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. My son used to watch this when he was a lot younger, but he doesn't really watch it as much now. There are some high-pitched voices in it, but generally speaking, it's pretty laid back in terms of chaotic noise. It does have social and relational benefits to it, and it helps children to understand roles and relationships between different characters. So it does have a kind of a lovable feel to it. The next one's Mickey Mouse Playhouse, and this one, I like it. It's cool. It does have some chaotic noise in it. There's a whole bunch of busy tones and just sounds and screaming voices and high-pitched stuff in there to keep kids watching. It's really not a bad show, but it is kind of noisy. Now, one thing I will say is that the hot dog song, as loud and crazy as it is, my children love it, and it always made him dance, and it was really a good thing. We all kind of rallied around it, and it was a way to have a good moment as a family, and our son would always dance. So that is a big thumbs up, and it does have some educational benefits to the show also. Blaze and the Monster Machines, I'm sorry Blaze, I don't mean to diss you or anything. We actually like Blaze, but Blaze has a lot of chaotic noise. There are a lot of screaming. Pretty much the main characters are always yelling. And I understand as a creator, these are the type of noises and sounds that children are attracted to, and they're trying to hold the child's attention. So I get what they're doing there. It's not a knock against them again, but yeah, it's just not something I like so much in my house. But the kids really like it. It holds their attention. I noticed that they get pretty busybody and pretty crazy after the show goes off. As soon as the credits start rolling, they start running, jumping off the couch and all that kind of stuff. I'm cool with them being excited. I like that they have energy, but it does bring some noise into the house. Now, with that said, the reason why I like the show is because I love that it addresses physics. Physics is a very rare topic for children's programs to address and cover, and this is pretty much the only one that I really know that does it consistently. So I really like that, and that's really cool. Another thing about Blaze is that my son is a really poor loser now, and I'm not really too sure if that is because of the show, because he absolutely loves Blaze. And what does Blaze do? Blaze always wins. And I don't really know about that messaging. I'm not here to blame Blaze about that. I know that that is a common trope for children's shows. But what I do want to say about that is that my son is in love with Blaze, and if he wins, he is so happy. But if he loses, his world is crashing and burning. Every kid goes through this. I'm not gonna say it's Blaze's fault, but there is potential there. And so I'm a little iffy about the messaging, and how Crusher always cheats is another thing. And my son is always blaming his little brother for cheating. So I don't know if in his mind, his younger brother is Crusher and he's Blaze or what, but it worries me just a little bit. Not that big of a deal. All right, so now for the ones you've been waiting for. The shows that I love to see my kids watching are Super Y. My youngest really loves Super Y. He's infatuated with words and letters, and this has it all throughout it. There's so many educational aspects to Super Y. A lot of it deals with words and letters, and he absolutely loves it. Also, their ABC song really helped my youngest to learn his ABCs really quickly. And right after they say the ABCs, what do they say? Amazing alphabet singing. He's been saying the word amazing, which is a 3-syllable word, since before he was like 1 year old. And we really love to see that. But overall, the show has more of a calmer pace. They do have high-pitched voices like every kid's show, but for the most part, there's not a whole lot of chaotic noise involved. The next one's Umizoomi, and it's pretty similar. There's a whole lot of educational benefits here. They cover a lot of different things. Spelling.
Hey, Daddy, it's real.
They pretty much ride around their spaceship. It's a pretty cool show. It's not crazy in terms of chaotic noise, and they have a whole lot of educational benefits also. I like the little group they have with the robot. That's really cool, and my kids like to watch it. So I don't really have a whole lot to say about Umizoomi, but it's a cool show, so I do love when they watch it. Oh, another thing for Umizoomi, they also have the pattern power thing or whatever going on. That's really cool too. And the last one's gonna be Little Einsteins, which I completely love because it has one of the most laid-back vibes that there is. I love Little Einsteins. As a music lover, they're playing all kind of classical music, jazz music, all kinds of cool things. They're showing different instruments and allowing the kids to try to learn what instrument is playing, all kinds of things that are really cool aspects of learning that are a little out of the box compared to other shows. So I really appreciate what they did with the show. And they also have a focus on art and different artistic aspects. I think it's super cool that they did that. All right, you guys, that's it. That's all I got for you today. If you liked the video, hit the like and subscribe, and also hit the bell so you know when I drop another video. I usually try to drop them on Tuesdays, but hit that bell so you know when they drop. Thank you. Have a nice one. Bada bing, bada boom.
Bubble bum.
Hello?
What is this?
After.
Yeah, after. Good job, Daddy. Daddy.
Yes? Oh, you wiped her nose. Good job, Ezra. David did not want to be in the video. You like Umizoomi?
Yeah.
You like Super Y?
Yeah.
Which one? Umizoomi or Super Y?
Umizoomi.
Umizoomi?
Yeah.
I thought you really liked Super Y.